I guess it's true. It's true. We're live.
I mean, it has to be. So thanks for being here. Good night, everybody.
Happy July 4th. You're probably enjoying the July of the 4th.
And some barbecue, maybe.
Some barbecue, which is nice. And nice. We're having barbecue right now in the shape of soda and whatever that is.
Earl Grey tea. Very
Earl
posh
Grey
of me.
tea. Yeah, he likes Earl and Grey.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Didn't you just go Grey recently?
I've been Grey since 17.
How's that? Really?
First gray hair is at 17. It's
17
really
years old. What was that? Like a year ago?
It was.
You don't look like you get older because you have it's like compact growth.
You know what it is? It's like I fool people by having the beard. Whenever I shave, people are like, "Oh my god, he's 12."
And yet, older women go after you. So what's that say about them? That has to be a fetish on their end. Anyway, today's show.
Cougars and pedophiles.
What is today's show about, JD? What's it say?
It says.
Can't you read it?
Why are you still having trouble getting over that hump to success? Should you be further? Not farther and not mother.
Yeah, further is in the progress. What? Further is progress. Farther is distance.
Oh.
Are you telling me you don't know that?
I did not.
Really?
I didn't.
Further, like the fur on someone's back. Further is a sense of progress.
Ah. And then farther is distance.
Is actual physical distance.
With yardsticks and meters and such.
How old are you? 12, right?
We've established I'm 12, but with a fake beard to hide the age.
Listen, I know words.
One or two.
Do you know what trouble means?
It's that game, right? With all the little popping.
You got. Why are you still having trouble getting over that hump to success? All right, we should define what a hump is. It's like that feeling of like, I'm doing a lot. I've been doing it for a while, but I'm always in the same. I don't feel my career doing anything. I feel like
you've gotten to like a certain level, but you can't get higher or over.
Yeah, it's exactly what I said. But what else is the issue though? Is like you've created a plateau. You've created more importantly, a stagnant reality to your career. Like you're like, well, maybe if you're an actor, you're like, I'm always getting gigs, but just for commercials. I don't feel myself doing anything else other than commercials for the last 2 years or 3 years. That could be a variation of the hump, know. But again,
it's a sign that the individual is not doing what is needed in order to grow necessarily.
Yeah. And then you get that mentality of like, should I be further? Like, what's going on here? Like, I don't understand why I'm stuck in this crusade of no results. I'm just fighting.
Is there a
difference?
That's
the show.
Is there a difference between like
further and farther?
Well, yes,
yes,
and father without the that.
Yeah, father and not father. Okay.
Father and farther.
All right, what's your stupid question?
What stupid question?
Yeah.
Is there a difference between
yes,
like a genuine feeling of I should be further along, and then having
you,
and then just having a sense of say like imposter syndrome, like am I really doing this kind of thing?
Okay, well, first let's explain what imposter syndrome is, because the way you're basing it is that your phone is too close to the technology. Imposter syndrome is actually the belief that you're a fraud, that you are not necessarily, let's say, an expert or an actor. Like or a writer or music. Like even though you might be playing music, you might not feel you are qualified to be that musician. Or like, am I really a musician just because I play music? Like you start, which is a little different than the progress of a career. Imposter syndrome focuses on your worth within that industry or that particular skill set, and not necessarily the progress of that skill set, which are not the same thing.
Gotcha.
So you may feel you may actually be seeing your career going further, but your brain is like, am I even worth being here? Like, how am I working with Steven Spielberg? I'm not a good enough actor to be here. And that would be the imposter syndrome.
I gotcha.
So your progress would be excellent, but you are fighting this imposter syndrome.
So now that we've cleared that up, I was using the wrong terminology.
Yes.
My question then is what's...
Wait, I'm about to have a heart attack. JD didn't fight me.
I didn't.
You're growing.
No, maybe I'm shrinking. I think maybe my
I think you are. You will shrink.
Which is crazy. I'll be like this big.
You're going to lose an inch or two by the time you're like 70,
tomorrow,
if you can make it past 60 without that thing. But anyway, go ahead.
How do you identify? Oh, maybe I really should be further along in my career. Like it's actually justified, or are you just being too hard on yourself?
Oh, that's a better question. I can't answer that. No, that's a really great question. The thing is, you should have a business plan, or at minimum, a plan of recognition. Hey guys, what's up? How's it
Yo.
going? Let's just pop that up there. Boom.
Howdy.
For some reason on the Facebook group, it doesn't showcase who it is. It just kind of generalizes it.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want your name shouted out, just write it in the comments, and we'll be able to show it and give you a nice shout out.
You can be like, "Hey Tim."
Hey Tim, I think it might actually be Paul. I'll be honest.
Oh, if it's Paul, hi Paul.
If it's Paul, because it was Paul last
Whoever
time.
it is, hi anyway. But
yeah, hi. Anyway, to get into it, you should have a plan, right? And within that plan, a physical plan, not like like hey, oh hey, look who it is.
What is it?
What do you mean who it is?
I can't read it.
Boom! Let's pop her up on the screen.
Oh, it's Alyssa.
No, it's not. It's Alyssa Heisel.
Hello.
Alyssa. She's a lovely lady, a lovely human being, a great actress, a wonderful producer, and excellent handshakes. No, seriously, her hand just shakes, and I'm like, that's excellent.
Yeah, but she shoots with that hand.
But this hand's perfect, but I shoot with this one. Anyway, so you should have a plan, and not just one of those like where I would like to be plans. A plan that's written out, and it doesn't. I can't come right. But the plan should be based on milestones.
Mm-hmm.
Like
what you're saying is you should have the milestones written out ahead of time to be able to follow and see if you're actually on track.
Yeah, because it'll dictate two things. One, are you hitting your milestones? And if you are, you know what your progress is, right? But also the concept of progress, which we talked about recently, is what is your value set within that progress? And that should be kind of written out too. You should know what it would look like if you had value within that progress. So you could be working in the industry, whatever it is, acting, writing, maybe you get a publisher and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, I hit my milestones. But what is your value set in that? Like, how much power do you really have? Like, is your publisher saying, hey, get the next book done? Or are you saying to the publisher, this is what I need? Like value set is like how much influence you have or movement within that ability. So by having the business plan, you can literally look at it and see if you are achieving said goals or necessities. And then by understanding what you would like, kind of the value within those achievements, you'll be able to kind of regulate and justify where you are. And then what was the second part?
You pretty much you answered it. Like having the business plan just basically keeps you on track to make sure that you're actually able to progress according to what it is that you have planned out, and that it also, in theory, would negate, someone being too hard on themselves, saying, "Oh, I just need to be further along." You're like, "No."
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Because if you're hard on yourself, it's basically because you don't have the plan. But this is the crazy part. You might look at your plan and say, "Why am I not further? I should be further along than I am. I have all these things I want to achieve, and I'm not achieving them." And when that happens, again, you look at your plan. What are the things you should be doing? The SMART goals, the specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goals leading to the achievement, right? Mm-hmm. Or the ultimate goal, which is the accomplishment. Like you have accomplished a very specific thing in your existence, and not a thing. Like I drank all the soda in the refrigerator. That's an accomplishment. No, accomplishment has value.
I mean, you're gonna be peeing a lot. Then.
Yeah, I'm peeing a lot right now. The purpose, though, is by allowing yourself to look at what you need to be doing to achieve those accomplishments or achieve those goals. That's the important part. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves, yet sometimes we're not doing what we need to be doing. Now, again, an actor, an actress, whatever, a performer would be like, I'm acting, or I'm playing music, or I'm writing books, but they're not necessarily achieving anything.
They're doing something, but they're not achieving. They're not growing. They're not expanding.
Yeah, and that is one of the reasons they fall into that hump category. That why am I not doing more? It's because they're focusing on the reward, the results, and they're not necessarily focusing on the growth aspect. You don't grow because you act. You don't grow because you write a book. You don't grow because you wrote the best song. You don't grow because you told the joke that changed the world. Like people will forget the joke after a while. those, or they'll remember the joke and forget you because the thing doesn't have any
It doesn't have any value. It's the emotional connection to whatever that people give.
Well, that's value. Branding, but ultimately, to have growth in your career, there's a lot that you should be doing just in general. And by having this plan, you could literally be, if you're hard on yourself, like I should be further, you just go to the plan. You go, wait a minute,
what am I doing? What am I not doing?
Yeah.
Am I hitting my goals? Am I not hitting my goals?
Yeah. Am I networking with the right people? What? When was the last time I looked at my circle of influence and reorganized, or when did I try to figure out who knows who, so I can start building relationships that way? Have I been really representing my brand? What do I stand for? Am I doing those things in real life? Am I being actively invested in my message? And these are things that if you could literally say yes or no. If I haven't, that's the answer, right? But if you have been, the answer is what you are doing may not necessarily be what you should be doing. And this is the value of entrepreneurial brain, right? So finding solutions by thinking outside the box in a proactive effort. Your job is to say, this isn't working. What else can I do, or what can I do different to help this outcome happen? And artists sometimes get stuck in that, I know what I'm doing. I know I just have to keep doing this thing and it'll work, and it doesn't work. And then just focus on, well, how do I do it more? If I just do it more, right? And then sometimes their results or their secret weapon is like an outside source, right? So actors and comedians and musicians might be like, I need a manager. The only reason none's happening is because I need a manager and an agent, right? And it's like, no, if you're not doing anything now, a manager and an agent is not going to help you with anything, right?
Because you should be able to run the business on your own, because you are indeed the business.
In fact, managers and agents and record labels and producers and people of note, they come to you because you are already proving yourself at value.
They're like, oh, this person knows what they're doing. We would love to, get involved.
Yeah, they invest in businesses. They invest in people that, treat their life like they know what they're doing. Or at least physically have proof that they are doing what they were supposed to be doing.
You know what you're doing? Nope. Well, it's working.
I know what I'm doing. I wrote 6 albums. Oh, well, you making money? No, I make money. I work at a welding place, and I got a 401k and I got insurance, so I can't really like leave that job. But if you can help me become really successful, if the music starts making money, then I could focus on the music. And then what do you mean focus on the music? Well, if I'm making money with music, I could just write music. And then they go, well, you are focusing on the money. That's why you have the job as the welder. And you wrote 6 albums. So you're doing what it is you want to do. So what do you need me for? Well, because I want to do it on a worldwide scale. I want to make money doing it. Oh, what do you need me for though? Well, you'll be able to market it and get me out on tour, but I can't do tours right now. I got to wait until the money coming in from the music outweighs. You see what's going on? How can anyone invest in that?
They can't.
Imagine if you were a business. You were literally opening up a business. Imagine you just said, I'm going to open up a business. And you go to an investor and you go, hey, listen, I have this great idea. And they love your idea, right? And then they go, all right, I'm going to invest in you. Go, all right. The only issue is I still have a day job. And they go, well, why don't you quit the job so you can focus on the business? Well, the thing is, I have insurance through this company and I have a 401k and I can't really. But once this idea starts making money, I could quit that job.
Yeah, we could just do the business on the weekend.
Yeah.
And then that investor is going to be like, have a good day.
Yeah, see you later. See you later. And you have to look at your career in entertainment the same way. Even if like you're a gamer or like an OnlyFans, anything you do, if you just focus on the results, you're not going to make a lot of money. And most of the people that make a ton of money on OnlyFans, if you really focus on what they're doing, is they're doing their job. They're building relationships. They're working with other OnlyFans people. They're marketing themselves more than just, I have an OnlyFans. They have like a process, right? And
they have individual brands. All the ones that are making a lot of money have a specific brand that is unique to them.
I mean, look at that Bella Thorne girl. She made $1 million in 24 hours. And you think she did that because she had an OnlyFans page?
Wait, is she the one who sold her the bathwater?
No, that's Bella Delphine.
Yeah.
And gave people herpes, which was fun.
Oh my God.
Anyway, but my point is, she didn't make $1 million in 24 hours because of OnlyFans. However, that was a platform she utilized what she had done to create a business. and she moved it to OnlyFans, and therefore the result of her job, of her doing her job, allowed her the reward of making money on this. It's the same thing with like an actor who's like, if I write this movie and I film this movie because I wrote it and filmed it, people are going to love it. And then you make it, you film it, and like no one really cares. The people that care are the people that know you, the people that you're close to. Maybe you show it at a couple festivals and people are like, hey, great job, but you don't really like, nothing crazy is coming out of it. It's because people can't invest in a thing. They have to invest in a future, in a potential of growth. And if your growth is based on a film or based on a short or based on a song or based on a book, that is not the potential for growth.
Because it's focused on a thing that has literally no power, because it is a thing. It is an inanimate object.
Think of it like this. Have you ever seen a really great movie and then the sequel comes out and you're like, this is the worst thing since, death, right?
Yes.
And
anything past Superman.
Anything past Superman. But that's the idea, right? Like, if you think your product is so good, you should make another one. The thing is, you can't make that same product because either you're making the identical product or a new product. And by making a new product, you are now remarketing a new thing. And by making the same product, people are like, you almost got me. Yeah, we already saw this, right? So when people invest in you, either audiences or people of note, like, and people know to be like shakers and bakers, and
candlestick makers.
And candlestick makers. They're going to invest in you because there is a potential of growth. And that potential of growth is based on what you are doing, not necessarily what you have done. And what does that mean? It's like, well, if I record an album, that's something I have done, but it's not something I am doing. And the doing is physical. The doing is beyond an idea or a product. The doing is, how involved are you? How much is your name known? Are you like one of the things that helped me in the music industry is people knew who I was by name. And it wasn't like, and both names. They knew the Telmorn and they knew the Thomas. And what's crazy is some people even knew the Diaz, because I started as Diaz de Tenebra, right? Which
was the precursor to Telmorn.
Which is the precursor, yeah. Which is still the god of darkness, right? The god of all things, nothing, and everything at once, right?
Diaz de Tenebra.
Diaz de Tenebra. All right. Anyway, but the point is, even people that didn't know me knew my name. Now, the other thing happened with when I started getting into entertainment, comedy, film, television, all that stuff. People always like, my buddy told me I need to know you. Like if I meet people at events and stuff, they're like, my buddy said I need to know you. You're the person to know. You're the person of value. And that is showing potential for growth, because my name carried or carries, depending on who you are, weight. It has, if you think of me, and that's showing potential growth. I've built a reputation. So someone can invest in me because people know me, which means I can ask of people. I can refer people. I know people who know people who know people, right? So that's a value set.
You have push and pull.
I have push and pull, right? So those are two value sets. I also have influence, meaning people will listen to me, right? So not everybody. And again, that's how you look at your plan. You go, what's your progress? Who are the people that need to be listening to me? Or who are the people I need to be listening to? That's the thing, right? You have to be aware of that. So when people invest in you in your career, they have to see that. They have to see some sort of potential for growth. And you build that growth, that potential for growth, by being proactive in doing. And doing doesn't necessarily mean the filming of a movie or the writing of a book. However, if you are going to film a movie or you are going to write a book, be smart about it. And this is how you could be smart about it, okay? Because if you base it on the triangle of life and like how to really organize your life and like, focus on your 3 needs of success, your 3 needs of longevity, and your 3 needs of purpose, your 8 assets, and also treating life like a business. If you focus that on these things, then you could take the thing away and just use that thing as a platform. So for example, if you're filming a movie, think about people you want to really grow a relationship with. People that like you want to really be around, because when you film a movie, you're going to be there for more than a week. right? At minimum.
Yeah.
Right. Even if you film a short, but you're also going to be there because ADR, you're going to be working on the project, you're going to be working on the script, you're going to be doing table reads, right? So who is it you really want to get to know? Who is it you really want to build a relationship with? Who is it somebody not only that you want to know, but who do you think should know someone else? And what does that mean? Well, if I want JD to know somebody else that I'm friends with, and I know their skill sets within that industry, I can say to myself, why don't I get JD to work on a project with me so I could get the other person to work on a project with me? And now all three of us are working on a project and we are building relationships.
We are.
Right.
And it's about so basically it's about bringing people together. And
well, that's not the only, that's one small part. That's about it. But what am I doing? My value set growth right here is that not only did I ask you to get involved in a project, and the project is not the value, by the way, but I asked you to get involved in a project. It's a tool. So I have, Thomas is doing things. He asked me. That's a value set. Thomas saw value in me. He asked me to be involved. But not only did he ask me to be involved, but the people he brought in to work on that project are really good people. They're kind, they're compassionate, they're easy to work with. There's a sense of collaboration. There's all the things that are valuable for certain people, right? And then they go, wait, Thomas knows good people. That has turned into another value set. So now they go, of course I'm going to work on a Thomas project, because if I work on a Thomas project, what happens?
There's built value.
I'm going to be around good people. And then you introduce them and they work together and they grow. And you're like, every time I work with Thomas, I meet someone good. And then we end up doing stuff and blah, 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 right? The other aspect is, what is the marketing value of that project? Not the marketing the project, but the marketing value of that project.
When you say that, are you saying what is the strength of the marketing, or what is the value of marketing?
Value of the marketing. Okay. Because some people, I would say most people, will film something and they'll focus on marketing that project. Okay. But they won't focus on marketing them and the people involved with that project. So it's better to grow your brand than the brand of the film. The brand of the film will grow by growing your brand, right? It's a trickle-down effect. Mm-hmm. But if you focus on the thing, you won't necessarily grow more value sets, right? So what you do is you utilize that as an opportunity to showcase your adventure, to showcase your progress doing something with other people, your progress of getting involved, to be like, hey, let's go speak on it. Is there an opportunity for us to speak on working on this project? Let's be experts. Let's show our expertise by speaking on a panel. Let's get involved with a film festival that our film isn't even filming in. How do we get involved with that film festival? How do we, as a group, as a team, go in and work that film festival? Either we volunteer our time, or maybe we know people of value and we say, hey, let us get involved. We'd love to do interviews, and I can actually get so-and-so to come in and be interviewed, and that so-and-so might be a celebrity, right? If you have that connection, whatever and what you're doing is you're utilizing, right?
You're giving your time, and you're also using whatever it is that you're able to bring to the table, and you're donating that as well to help whatever the cause is for something that is not yours.
Yeah, like let's say I film a movie, an independent film, and I ask somebody,
an Independence Day film.
Yeah.
I'll be here all week.
Good night, people. This is JD's last show. Let's say you ask somebody, you're like, oh, if we could get so-and-so in the movie's going to be a hit. Just so you know, that is not true. But people believe that. They go, hey, we got Eric Roberts, But if you could get Eric Roberts in your film, you're going to build a relationship with them, right? Anyone, Julia Roberts, anybody. If you could afford anyone to be in your independent film.
Any of the Roberts.
Any of the Roberts, Emma Roberts, whoever, right? If you could afford that, don't allow that one-time interaction to be it. Build a relationship with that person, because you are working with them. They are not there in the sense of like they're going to do their lines and leave.
Yeah, they're not there to be a tool. They're there like anybody else, where they're there for you to connect with.
Yeah, connect with them in a great way. Why? Because if another opportunity comes up, you could say, hey, I have a podcast. I'm doing an interview. Would you like to come on? Or maybe you get together and you say, I'm going to do like there's really great, Richard, I can't say his name. Hinken. This His first name's Richard. He does a thing called Think Tank, and he gets together a whole bunch of performers and like people in the industry, and then he has like a celebrity come in and talk their expertise. So if you're building this relationship, what did you just do for your value set? You have a value set. You have built a relationship with a celebrity, and now you could even go to a festival and be like, hey, can I be a part of the festival? I want to do an interview series. I know A, B, C, and D, and they could come in and they could do a thing, and you don't even have to pay me. Like, let me just get involved, and if you want to charge people to come in or whatever the deal is, like, I just want to get involved, and that sacrifice allows you to grow value within that industry, but all because you worked on a film and you brought somebody in. Right. So do you see how I'm utilizing things to grow marketable possibilities? Because your brand value is growing based on your action. Brand is only truthful when it is being seen. So if you just tell people, I'm a really good person, that is not seeing value.
That's you, and that's not the person doing something that shows that they are a good person.
Correct. You actually have to be a good person. If you need to tell someone, I'm not like any other guy,
odds are
it can't be true. Even if it's 100% true, in that moment, it is not true.
Because you're just saying things. You're not acting in.
Yeah, it's a statement. It's a statement of assumption. But also it's the same thing as like if you don't like someone and you go, JD's an a-hole, right? It's not true. It may be 100% true, but it's not true in that moment, right?
Because it is just words.
It's just words until it becomes something of value, right? And you got to think of it that way.
Because actions are the value. Because you either you're doing something or you're not doing something. Do or do not. There is no try.
Do or do not.
There is no try.
No try.
Master Yoda, I am.
I rap.
Master is
better than Baker. Another thing that you can realize is some people will do things to make money, quote unquote. And if you're doing things to make money to pay bills, you're already doing it wrong. You should be in a position where you make money where you can then utilize that money to organize it. And a film should pay you based on salary and return, but the money earned from the film should also go into an account, like a business account, to further pay for other things. And more importantly, when you create a budget for a film, like put marketing in there, put screenings in there, like do your own screenings, like
be in control of it.
Yeah, don't film the movie and then be like, all right, now we're gonna make some money to screen it. Like, no, that's all part of the budget. Yeah. That is literally in the budget. If you look at a real budget, well, they don't call it screening, it's distribution fees and stuff like that, right? But the same thing,
everything is in there because they're like, well, how much? Like they're like, what are we responsible for spending at any given point of this process?
Yeah, how do we make this film successful, right? The other thing is like for books and music and things like that, comedians, it's all the same. Like if a comedian is out there just doing jokes, like I just go get my joke. People people I don't need to see those other comedians. Let me look at my phone. They have their phone. It's in the back. Oh, you can't see. It's in the back, and the phone is bright blue on your face. And, you're just like looking at your jokes, and like your buddies up on stage, and they tell their jokes. No one's laughing because no one's paying attention.
They're all comedians paying attention to their stuff.
And okay, then you go up and you go, yeah. Anyway, so
what about these bagels?
Yeah, bagels. All right, it's just a premise. All right, the hell with you guys. I'm still working on it. But
that's pretty funny. I almost choked on my tea and died.
Bagels. Anyway, but the point is, if you're a comedian, your job isn't to be the best comedian. That's something you could. That's something you want to achieve. That's another thing. But for a successful career, it's not about being the best comedian.
Your job is to do everything that is not the performing thing.
Yeah. If it was about being the best comedian, you would never watch a special or see people growing in the industry and go, "How the hell did they get there? They are not funny." You just right because that would just be the truth.
Yeah.
Right. So. You have to build and cultivate those relationships. Maybe work with other comedians. What does that mean? Well, if you have to do shows with other comedians, but create like a brand.
Collective brand.
A collective brand,
not just individuals.
Yeah, be like, all right, we're the so-and-so.
Like top
of the bottom pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, Top of the Bottom Pile was basically a group of comedians, and we focused on pushing Top of the Bottom Pile, and people started knowing who we were through Top of the Bottom Pile. It's easier to remember one thing and the collective of that thing.
You guys were like the New York comedian mafia.
We were. People.
Were you all Italian?
No, definitely not. I was the only Italian.
Really?
Yeah. Oh no. Stoney was. I think Stoney is half Italian. I think.
I was gonna say, like, you guys are all from New York. Like, the odds that you would be the only Italian in that group just blows my mind.
I think I'm the only Sicilian, which.
Oh well, like that I can understand. But like the only Italian. What?
What's with these Italians?
Hey, yo, whoa.
Hey, these Baba Boots.
Hey, you saying I'm funny? What kind of am I?
I beat you up, but I don't want my gold chain falling off. Go get me a cannoli.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Yeah, that was an ad-lib line.
It was.
Good.
Some of the best lines in movies are just like completely off the cuff.
Oh yeah, like that one.
Like that one.
And that other one. Anyway, so the reason we get to that hump level is because we are focusing on ourselves, our own success, and the things we have done,
and the art.
Which is the thing we have done. I had already established that the thing you have done is like I recorded an album. That's something you have done.
Gotcha.
I filmed a movie. That is something that I have done.
I misunderstood. I thought you were talking about like everything you've done in the past.
Well,
like, in general,
everything you have done that is as long as it's not within your career purpose, like what is your actual job? Like if you're that stuff is because that's what you are doing still. You should always be doing that. But products is something you do it once. If I record an album, that's something I have done. But if I am networking, that's something I am doing. Because you're always networking. You should always be cultivating relationships. You should always be building relationships. You should always be, you know what I'm saying? You should be always managing your money. You should always be managing your time. You should be managing the people in your life. You know, you shouldn't be just spending so much time with people that just don't add value to the system of purpose. You know, if you're just hanging out with someone who does drugs every week, or, you know, they have no motivation beyond just being like, well, if it happens, that'll be great. Like, don't hang out with those kind of people because they're not going to inspire or influence you to create good habits. They're going to create bad habits. Yeah, you know, you're right. Yeah, maybe if I focus on my job and I have the money and I can afford my life, and if something happens with my career and it kicks off, then I don't know if people know this, but like even actors, when they're starting out, because no actor starts off with a $10 million paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's very rare. Like even Chris Evans, if I remember correctly, look this up. Chris Evans, how much was Chris Evans paid on the first Avengers movies, which is the Captain America? Chris Evans, Captain America, and also how much he made on the first Avengers. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't. I mean, it was a lot of money, but it wasn't a lot in comparison to what, you know, a name would make. I think it was in the 100,000s, right?
Evans reportedly earned a $300,000 as a base salary for the first Captain America. Yep. It skyrocketed to $15 million for Infinity War.
Well, all right. Now his is $15 million. Robert Downey Jr.'s was like $70 million for Endgame, right?
And then he got back end too, right? Or was it
that is with the back end?
That is with the back end.
But my point is, we don't start out there, right? So actors that are names now didn't start there. They made whatever, basically like maybe a flat rate or say, you know, and the thing is, if you do a commercial, yeah, you might get 20,000 or 30,000, but now you got to live off of that. You're done, right? You got 30 grand. And it's not like you're going to get another commercial gig tomorrow. It's not like you're constantly doing gigs.
Yeah, it's like one of the first things you taught me is the second you're off stage, you're unemployed.
That's right. All entertainers, the moment you are done doing the thing you have done, you are unemployed. And that's where money management comes involved, because if you're focusing on just getting the work, you're just focusing on, I need to pay my bills. And if that's the whole purpose why I say you should create a financial foundation, why you should have a year and a half of money in your bank account, your business bank account, supporting your monthly average overhead, your budgeted monthly average overhead, and not to supply a lifestyle, but just to survive a budgeted overhead, meaning like, what is the comfortable minimum requirement I need. And that doesn't mean having the nicest car in the world. That doesn't mean having a house. That doesn't mean having a 4-bedroom apartment. It means, what do I need to live comfortably, but not expensively? Like, what is the lifestyle I want? Why don't I work my ass off doing my job that'll reward me to get paid to do the things I love? And therefore, I can slowly but surely grow my overhead. And that's the thing. The more money you have organized, the stronger your overhead becomes budgeted. Right? People don't understand that. They think, well, I want a better lifestyle. So wait until your average monthly overhead is capable of increasing.
You have to earn the increased lifestyle.
Yeah, you have to earn the lifestyle. And we've gone over this, but the simple way to think about it is, if you're living off of an 18-month, like if your financial foundation is 18 months, right? And whatever that is, like,
it depending on what it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Depending on,
let's say it's $2,000 a month, so 2,000 times 10 is 20,000, and then add another.
So it's 24,000.
40,000. What's 40,000 minus 4,000? It's 20. That's $36,000, right? So if you had $36,000 in 18 months, right? Like that was, and you had that in your bank account. The moment you have, let's say, 2 or 3 months over that, you can then shrink that 18 months down to equal 9 months of overhead.
And then this way you're like, oh, this is how much it would cost me for 1 month. And then you would have to save up 18 months minimum
to increase it again.
That new overhead that you've just made.
Yeah. And that's how you do it. Because if you can afford if you have the 18 months and then it goes down, and then you make enough money where you have the 18 months plus like 2 months, 2 or 3 months over that, you have the 18 months. So just take 18 months average, and then just, what would that total, that 36,000, be for 9 months? And then that becomes your new overhead, and you can slowly do that. And then once you hit that 18 months again, a little over, you start increasing it. And that's the way of being smart with your organizing money. And people just sometimes just want to have it all, but you don't have to. So to get over that hump, again, you gotta really do your job in the entertainment industry, and not necessarily the craft. The craft is what is the reward. The moment your job within the industry, your efforts are being, your responsibilities are being fulfilled, you will be rewarded that craft. So to clarify a couple of things we said, should you be further? You should be no further than what your plan is suggesting or your opportunity of value has given you, right? However, you should know what you want to achieve, and that's what that plan is. So the should you be further mentality, have a physical plan
that you can reference,
and just look at it. And if your 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10-year goals, your major achievements are listed, and let's say it's your 5th year in, and you look at your thing and you're like, holy crap,
I'm really behind.
Yeah, I should be further. And then you have to go and look at what it is you need to be doing to achieve those things.
See what it is you were doing, what it is you weren't doing.
Yeah.
And compensate.
Yeah, and if you can't, if you realize that whatever it is you have been doing isn't working based on your plan, then you have to change things up. I personally think you should look at it every quarter. You should look at your plan every quarter, right? Even just JD and I actually look at our every month. We go back over. We go, what have we been doing? What haven't we been doing? Where are we at this point, right? We even have like a huge wall for it that I use only. And
listen, I draw very, very fun little poo smiley faces.
Yeah. It helps.
Listen, it puts a smile on my face.
I know. All I got to do is like, what is JD doing? Oh shit, he's literally doing shit.
Womp womp.
He's doing nothing. But you should be doing that. Not that you need the big wall like I have.
You're saying you should be keeping track of things
because you can reevaluate.
And it makes it easier to make sure that you are staying on track instead of just going, oh, look, 6 years have passed.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be like, I should be getting 7 auditions. 7 auditions. No.
Yeah.
If you want an audition, look at what the process is to get an audition and then evaluate what you need to do to get the audition and not necessarily focus on the audition. Because believe it or not, you'll realize maybe you don't need to get the auditions.
Because sometimes if you're doing your job correctly, people will just reach out to you without the audition and be like, hey, I got a role. Do you want this?
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Like if you're just I need auditions, and you're not getting auditions, you have to say, well, how do I get auditions? And then if you focus on the things you should be doing to get those auditions, and by the way, it isn't just having a manager or an agent or submitting. Believe it or not, that is not the only way to get an audition, right? Because it's people involved. And most people think casting directors cast projects, but they do that in a sense of they organize opportunities or options for the director or producer, which means you should be making friends with writers, directors, and producers.
Well, the guys who make the decisions.
Yeah. How am I going to make friends with a Steven Spielberg? I don't know, but you could probably make friends with writers, producers, and directors that you know on your level who are doing stuff.
Because you never know who's going to be the next Steven Spielberg.
That's right.
Or the next Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, like I meet people all the time like, man, my dream is to work with Al Pacino. And I just go, but you're probably sitting next to Al Pacino.
Of your generation.
Yeah, of your generation. And just because they're not there yet, they don't have the brand value. You're not interested in making friends with the person sitting to your left because they look weird. Like Al Pacino looks weird.
I mean, he definitely looks weird.
Right? And imagine
Martin Scorsese also looks weird.
Think about, imagine you met Al Pacino and he wasn't successful. He didn't have the brand value. And he's sitting in class and he goes up and he tries the line. He goes, okay,
yo,
all right. So you want a cup of coffee? And you're just staring at him like, what is, these are wacko choices he's making. And then he's like, oh, this coffee is hot. And you're just like, this is a terrible actor, right? Because they have no brand.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my, wait, how do you want me to do this? I'm Italian, but I'm playing
a
Cuban. But my point is, you never know. In fact, you don't even know if you're sitting next to the next, Neil Young or Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne was a nerd, and he was a person who was picked on consistently in
His
school.
Own bandmates picked on him.
They hated him.
Specifically, Tony Iommi.
That's right. But my point is, they didn't like him, and he was Ozzy.
Yeah.
So, you have to place value in the people around you. Not because there's a chance they are going to be the next Ozzy Osbourne or the next Robert De Niro, but that people have value. We don't know who someone is or who someone knows or who someone will be or whatever the case may be. So you got to be nice to everyone as best as possible. And you're not trying to build friendships to use people. You're building friendships so you could be around people that influence
and acknowledge
good
the value
behavior
that everyone has.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we don't have any value because, I have my face on the computer. So
yeah. I mean, if anything, the sticker has the value. You're just ripping off the sticker.
I have never ripped that sticker off.
I can tell. It's been there the entire time.
Yeah, it's been there the whole thing. What do we got going on? We have someone on Twitch watching.
Ooh.
What's up, Twitch?
Howdy.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, comment. Do you have a question? You have a thought? Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, tell us what your mother's maiden name is. Your
the school you went to in elementary school.
And maybe the dog. The dog.
Your favorite pet.
Your favorite pet
as a child.
Yeah. Do you have a best friend?
And what bank do you use?
Yeah. What bank do you use? It's crazy. If only I knew your last four. Just put your four social last four social.
It's funny.
Anyway, is that it? What are we talking about?
I'm talking about humping people.
Yeah. JD, do you know what? Let me read the thing. So, if you saw the video description, it said nothing is easy. There's no quick fix to making it an entertainment. For example, that perfect song is not going to change your life. The reason is because it's a thing. An actor acting a role of a lifetime will not make everything come together because there are many actors that performed, won an Oscar or an Emmy or a Tony, and nothing happened out of it. Nothing came from it because they were reliant on I performed. Mm-hmm. I was acting, and they didn't build a relationship. They didn't build value within that system, right? But the other thing goes for people is like, hey, if I have the best joke, it is not going to leapfrog you over the top, right? So what will get you there is doing your job behind the scenes within the industry. Because more importantly, you are not in this alone working behind the scenes. And some people, like we said in the beginning of the show, like they feel like they need to succeed on their own. And if they don't, it doesn't mean anything.
Because they feel that it's a value builder for themselves. They feel that if they do it, quote unquote, on their own, it's like, oh, look, I do have something to bring to the table. I can do this. I am, you know, what I want to bring to society has value because I can do. I did this, and here's the proof.
And you felt that in the beginning when you started with music, right? It has to be my music.
I definitely did.
And why is that?
In general, or for like me personally?
Just for you. Like, why were you like my music? I cannot consider myself successful unless I do it on my own merits.
Well, for me, it was a bit. One, I didn't understand the system like at all.
Still
don't. But for me, it was I never really gave value to myself.
Yeah, that's
and
understandable.
So I put value into the thing that I was creating because I felt like that was more important than me and what I felt that I was able to bring to the people around me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you were like, whatever the crap is I make is better than me.
Exactly.
But you didn't think it was crap.
I didn't think it was crap.
But listening back, you go, this is crap.
Oh, yeah, no. The first album I ever recorded sounds like duty. I think.
What about the second one? And the third? And the fourth?
Think I've played you the first one.
What about all your music?
You're like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't.
The songs that I've recorded literally with my iPhone sound better than that first album recording, which was done.
They sound better, yeah. They definitely sound better. I don't know if they're better songs though, but they definitely sound better.
This
guy. Because you still write your instrumentals as if they're like normal songs.
I definitely do.
And you forget that they're boring.
Well, for you.
Well, they're boring because there's nothing going on because you're writing them as if something else should go there and you don't put anything there.
I definitely do that.
Yeah, I know you do that. That's why it's do music.
You do.
You know, I'm gonna write a song with a verse, chorus, solo, chorus, out. But I'm not gonna add any verse, chorus. But I definitely will solo. In fact, let's just get to there as we. But that, you got music needs to evolve just like a story, right?
It does need to evolve.
But I mean, that's the creative aspect of it, and that's the thing too.
But there's still like a process and a formula. Sorry,
yeah, you'll learn it one day
eventually.
Do you think you know the formula?
No,
I don't think so either.
I still like am exploring things. Like if I have an idea, I'm like, oh, let me try this, and like
Yeah, I don't think you should explore anything until you learn the process because then you could explore with purpose.
That is true.
Instead of exploring until you go, I like this. Right? But if you like something, you might get stuck on it because it sounds so cool.
And you will not necessarily feel the desire to move on and learn and grow.
Or you might be like, that has to be in the song because it sounds so good. And then the next part has nothing to do with that part, but it's another cool sounding part. And then now you have two cool sounding parts, but they have nothing in common. They don't make sense. They don't speak to each other. There's no resolve or tension building. The chords themselves are probably not doing anything. The melody from one part to the next part don't really explore any.
Is it even in the same key or a relative key?
Sometimes it's not with your music. Just because you were writing, you hit that first chord.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Adding, it's like another.
However, music can change keys.
But it has to have a purpose and like some sort of relation. It can't just be like, everything's all melodic and everything's, nice and following a pattern. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just switch to like half a step up for no reason.
You could do that.
For no reason?
Well, I mean, there is a reason.
I'm saying without a reason. It's like, where'd this come from? What are you doing?
But if I were you, I would just listen to the music and be like, what is this saying? If the answer is it's cool,
then it's not doing anything.
It's not doing anything. And if you go, I like that melody, but why? Not that you have to do it. Like, no one has to do that like, if you like what you're doing, just do it. But that doesn't mean it's good.
Or has purpose.
Like, that's the thing. Like, people always say, "What? Can you give me your opinion on this thing?" No. And they're like, "Why not?" I go, "Because I'm going to hate it. And all I care about is, do you like it?" Right? And they're like, well,
does it have meaning to you?
Yeah. And they're like, but don't you have to like it? And I go,
no.
I don't even want to like it.
The important thing is that if you're creating art, you have to be proud of it. Because if you're not proud of it, why?
My brother's watching.
Oh, hi.
I can't even repeat this. But yes, you are right, brother.
I'm just gonna agree.
That's so funny.
No, but like if you're making something, and you're willing to put it out in the world, if you're not proud of it, why would you do that?
Well, I don't think you should put anything out that you are proud of if you're trying to have a career, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because being proud of something and something being good are not the same thing. If you
Agreed.
just want to put it out there to put it out there as an artist, do it. But the moment you want to make money and the moment you want a return on your audience, you cannot just put something out because you think it's good when it's not good.
You need to do your job, make sure that it follows, protocol.
Not that, but again, like, and if anyone's listening to this and they go, that's ridiculous, I could do whatever I want, then look at every artist out there in the world, like painter. The greatest painters learned the technique, and then they had such an awareness of the technique. They were able to manipulate the technique and therefore create their own form of technique.
Like Picasso.
But like, yeah, like you have to you have to understand the tools allotted to you for that craft, for you to have the ability to manipulate that craft. But if you have no understanding of how it works and you're just like, well, I just like how it looks, that's fine as an artist. Just release that. Like if you just paint on the wall, just handprints.
I mean, I'm kind of getting the urge to just duct tape a banana to the wall now and sell it for like $4 million.
But my point is, you just put your hand in and you go, this is what I want. But the moment you want to make money, like there's a process to it. Otherwise, it's not like, especially if you're reliant on the product. Like if you're like, my music is going to make me money, like at least make it good. It can't just be like, I like this. Like JD and I, we have this formula where we say if we like the majority of a band's music,
we like that band.
We like that band. And the problem is we found out we don't like a lot of bands that we like listening to.
We started doing this when you started making like playlists and everything. Yeah. You're like, yeah, I'm going to make playlists. And then we're like listening to all this stuff. And you're like, oh man, I really you said like, oh yeah, I'm a Metallica fan. Then
no, I'm a Dream Theater. I said I don't think I'm a Dream Theater fan, but I love listening to Dream Theater songs. And then I went through every album.
I just like every album.
I was like, I think I'm a Dream Theater.
But there's one band where you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm a fan of this band, and they were going through and like numbers wise, you're like, I don't like most of their albums, I just like these songs. I think it was Metallica.
I don't think it was Metallica. Well, actually, if I listen to anything beyond where I think there's a point where I don't think Metallica exists anymore. So I like Metallica.
Past Injustice for All.
Yeah, I don't like the Black Album at all. I like songs on the Black Album, but to me that is a new band.
Fair enough.
That's like Black Sabbath coming out with like a
oh wait, it was
like
a
funk album.
It was Black Sabbath, I think.
Oh yeah, you're like, I definitely don't like Black Sabbath.
But you like Black Sabbath songs mainly because there's more not Ozzy albums than there are Ozzy albums.
But
so statistically,
again, I love Dio as a singer, but I don't like Dio's songs with Ozzy. I like 3 or 4 songs.
You mean Dio songs with Sabbath?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Dio songs with Sabbath.
Dio, yeah.
And
like everyone likes Heaven and Hell.
But I think Never Say Die is the last Ozzy album.
Yes.
And basically from Black Sabbath to Never Say Die, I can listen to those albums all the way through. Even
I thought you didn't like Never Say Die.
I don't like Never Say Die, but I could listen to that album all the way through. You know what I'm saying? And there's songs on some of the other albums that I don't necessarily like, but I can listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like, they're just quality. And the thing is, Sabbath came out and they reinvented that genre. I mean, it didn't really exist. So like when someone makes an album and they're like, do you like it? And I go, it's crap. And they're like, why? I was like, I don't hear anything interesting. It's literally they're doing so-and-so, or they're doing this, or they're doing that, or like when you show me bands, you go, this is the new sound. I go, it's crap. And you're like, but it sounds so good. And I'm like, but if everyone is doing it, it can't be good. It can't. What is good about that's like looking at Michelangelo paintings or statue work. And then everyone starts doing statues like Michelangelo. Everyone after Michelangelo is not good. It can't be. Yeah, but what I'm saying is it can't be good. If you learn how to make a statue like Michelangelo makes statues,
then
You're just really good at making Michelangelo statues, which means what you're making is not good.
you're good at capping.
Yeah, like we get it. All right, it has quality.
It's like everyone can like great job chiseling a penis.
Yeah, you know how to make a penis that is literally 4 feet long, but in pictures you're like it's tiny.
Until you stand next to it and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, because isn't it like 16 feet high or something? Not the penis, but the stat.
Yeah, no, it's pretty tall.
It's pretty tall. But my point is, I'm not saying like if someone came out and started writing music like Black Sabbath, I wouldn't be like, if they're
like the Sword.
I'm like, wow, it's quality music, but it's not good to me. They're not doing anything. They're not doing
anything. Copying.
Yeah, I like bands that when you listen to like Typo Negative, the moment you hear the first note, you're like, this is a Typo Negative band. But if you're listening to bands where you're just like, it's rubbish.
I'm very satisfied that you use the word rubbish.
Rubbish. But it's the same thing with writing or like film or comedy. Like when you watch I don't think I'm the greatest comedian. I'll be the first to say that. I don't even think I'm a good comedian, right? And just because I can make people laugh doesn't make me a good comedian. But you watch comedians and they're just like, I'm the shit. And you're like, no, you are shit. Because you're just telling jokes. And it's like, yeah, but I'm a comedian. That's what I'm supposed to. But you're not saying anything.
There's no purpose.
Yeah, there's no purpose. Making people laugh is not a comedian to me. I feel like that's just somebody being a comic. You're a clown, right? But if you're a comedian, says something. Like even George Carlin, he might not make you laugh,
but he makes you think,
and then you laugh. You know what I'm saying? Louis C.K., as disgusting as some of his jokes are, he's saying something. He's like, it's insane the way he changes your perspectives on.
Mitch Hedberg.
Well, no, he is a genius comedian. But his whole thing was like one-liners and stuff like that. He wasn't trying to make you think. He was just trying to. He was very smart though. I think if he didn't die, I think he would have turned into somebody with something to say, even with his one-liners.
Mm-hmm.
But he was very
because even though there were a lot of one-liners that like made you think, like even like the whole like the receipt for the donut thing.
I get
yeah, like
I get that. I get that. But what I'm saying is like there's nothing to say, as in like what are you adding? What are you adding to the work? Like obviously people know what Mitch Hedberg sounds like.
Yeah.
Like his cadence and everything like that, and his joke styles and stuff like that.
Don't trust Dr. Acula.
But he used to give jokes to people all the time. He'd be like, I can't do this joke, you do that joke. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, and because they were just jokes. They were just jokes. But he was a genius and he was very funny. I just think if he had some more time on the planet, he would have found
something to
say. Even Jeselnik says something, even though it's like it's bizarrely dark. But he's placing like the ridiculous on the way we place value on certain things, and then he just destroys those values. And I think that's saying something, right? So, but when you're watching like comics just doing
comedy things,
yeah. I went down on a girl and I didn't think I had a vampire fetish. Like you're like, all right, I get it. She was bleeding.
wah, wah, wah.
Or this one girl did a joke. She goes, "You learn a lot about guys, and you learn a lot about a guy's ex." When you have sex with him for the first time, he's down there and you're just like, oh, she liked weird things,
It's pretty funny.
It's very funny, but it's
not saying anything in general. It's just, this is a weird experience that I had. And
yeah. And not that dirty jokes are bad, but it's just a funny thought,
It's a funny moment. It's not necessarily adding to the overall conversation of society.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not saying anything new. Like the world of comics they tell you, no matter what you do, you got to find your voice, and your voice is actually you saying something,
which is your brand, which is something that you're always constantly saying that everyone needs to, be aware of when you're trying to actually be an entertainer. It's not just, let me go and make an album. It's not just, let me go out and play a role. It's like, what is it that you as an individual, or you as like a team stand for? Like what you guys are building with Top of the Bottom Pile within the community.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about the craft right now, like with saying something, but yeah, like.
But it's linked to your brand though, is what I'm saying. Because
Yeah. I mean, top of the bottom pile brand was a little different than each of our individual brands, but when you're talking,
but I thought you guys all had like there was something you guys were like linking together also, or it was not
no, no. What we did one time, we all had one joke that was a part of another joke. So like, for example, I had a joke where like if I went up, because depending if I was closing or not, I would do the joke. You know, we each had a different position joke, and the joke was talking about, it was like, I was online behind this. No, I was online. Yeah, that's right. My part of the joke was, I was online, and this guy, I was on the 10 items or less line, and the guy refused to ring me up because I brought a 12-pack of Coke. And he goes, "Sir, it's 10 items or less." And I was like, "This is a 12-pack of Coke." And he goes, "Sir, it's 10 items or less." And I go, "It's a pack of Coke," right? And he starts telling me I can't ring it up. You know, it's a very strict rule. And I go, and then I point to the guy behind me, and I go, "What are you going to do with this guy and his bag of rice? Throw him out the window?" Right? So
That's
then
funny.
one of the other comedians would go up, and they would do their routine, and out of nowhere they go, I just sometimes I'm not comfortable with the confrontation that other people try to throw upon you. You know, like I just kind of want to go about my day. And you know, if I'm online and somebody's trying to throw me into their debacle about my bag of rice, you know, I'm not looking to get thrown through a window. You know, like,
that's funny.
You know, and then the next person would be like the cashier.
Got these two schmucks. It's so funny.
This is coward, and this.
I like that you guys had like this giant joke that was like linked together. I'm assuming you guys only did this when you were like performing.
We only did it as a exercise that we never really got to do live because let's just say not everyone commits to something funny. But we did work it out though. Like it was worked out behind the scenes because
that's a really funny thing.
It was very funny. Very funny. The concept, I'm not even saying the joke is funny, but the concept is funny because you're not expecting 3 or 4 comedians
in a row
to add to a joke without actually going, you know, that line joke with the 12 items or less? Let me tell, like, it was just, they were telling a joke that was connected to that joke.
They were like, it just went with the flow.
Yeah. And it wasn't technically a callback. It was literally its own joke that was in reference to the same environment.
It's still really funny. Yeah. And I think, you know, had you guys actually like stuck with that and like done that, that would have like really hit people, and they would have been like, oh my God, this is, because it's something that like nobody really does. They don't slink together like that. Especially and like you know, like the independent, like smaller, you know, beginning stages, people are like you always point out, people are very much out for themselves.
Oh yeah. They in fact, the reason Top of the Bottom Pile pretty much fell apart was because it went from like everybody knew who I was, and all the value was being thrown on me, and people wanted to kind of stand out. I mean, one guy literally says, "I want to spread my wings and I want to fly. Like I want to feel it,"
which is weird because last I checked, people don't have wings. What's
funny is that guy came to me and he was like, "Hey, could I join Top of the Bottom Pile?" That's how he talks. And I was like, I have to talk to everyone else. And he goes, "Come on, we all know who's in charge." And I was like, I'm not the one in charge. We vote.
It's a democracy.
Yeah, we talk, you know. I was like, I educate and I guide, but when it comes to decision making,
it's everybody.
Yeah, and if it's not, if we delegate, not delegate, we discuss the position of a turn down. So if something is turned down and we disagree with it, if one of us feels strongly about it, we discuss the value of it. And if at the end the value does not make sense, then we continue to. So even though we can vote down on something, we still have an opportunity for conversation.
You're still very open and
you
know.
But again, if you can't prove the value of it, obviously, why would we do it if you don't even know what to do with it, right? So, but anyway, so they were like, we all know who's in charge. And I was like, I may have started it, but I'm not the one in charge, you know? And he's like, come on. And then I still had to, and we all were like, we don't really want him in there, but we feel bad for him. And he was like our friend. And we were just like,
Fine.
we were like, yeah, buddy, come on in, no problem. And like literally everything that we said was going to be an issue became an issue. Like he was drunk all the time. At shows, he would drink, because our rule was we don't drink when we're working.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that you're, cognizant.
But again, having
Afterwards.
a drink, no, afterwards, no. When you go home.
Yeah, which is after you're done working.
Oh yeah. But not like after you get off stage.
Yeah, no, I mean like after you're done working. Sorry.
No, the whole night is work.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you go home. But anyway, and it's again, a drink is not really an issue, but this guy would get roasted, or toasted.
He would get hammered.
Yeah, he just, he'd
sauced, as they
telling
say.
us stories about his family and like, I don't know. I'm like, all right,
was
buddy.
This individual?
Too old to be drunk like that. But it wasn't like a one-time thing, and it got to the point where we're just like, we got to get rid of him. And then he quit before we got rid of him because he was like, I need to let my wings fly. And then, like,
you're like, oh no, if that's how you feel, okay, bye.
But it's the crazy part of the industry is that imagine someone telling you, it's just, I just don't like that everyone, when they see me, they ask about you, and I was like, that's the point. Is that everyone, they care about everybody that's involved with, like,
Then
but I wanted to
you
be
told
about
them
me.
that like when you went out to see people, they'd ask how everyone else was doing too. They wouldn't.
They wouldn't know their names. They go, how's the rest of Top? But with me, they'd be like, oh, how's Thomas doing? And they were just like, oh, come on. Which is crazy. But the only reason it worked is because literally I was teaching them how to do what I do, but they wouldn't do it. And I was just doing what I do, and that's why I had collected value sets. But out of all of them, one of them is still a really good friend of mine. Well, one of them is still a very good friend of mine, but he's out of the industry. He's just doing his own thing. And then the other one I'm still good friends with, and we talk often, actually. So he's a good guy. But the other one just vanished.
Like completely off the face of the earth.
Just vanished. One became one just vanished, which is funny.
Maybe they're a hermit in like the woods somewhere.
No, they deleted us from everything. They just like
it's so weird.
It's okay.
Like why?
I don't know.
Like, why do people get all like weird like that?
I don't know. I have no idea. It is what it is, though, right?
Yeah, people are definitely weird.
Anyway, is that it? You got anything else?
I mean, we got burgers.
Why do we have burgers?
Because burgers. Why would we not have burgers?
I feel like you grew up in society's social norms, and like they've like imprinted on you.
I definitely did not grow up in any kind of social.
July 4th. It's July 4th. We're gonna have burgers. Hey, Bob. Hey,
what's Ray's brother?
I don't know. I've never actually watched Everybody Loves Raymond.
Hey, we gotta have hamburgers tonight. Okay, Pa?
Hot dogs.
Hey, Dad. You want some hamburgers? We're gonna watch the game. I'm Raymond. Hey, I'm Raymond. Come on, Ma. Ma.
It's like a hybrid between Ray Romano and Kermit the Frog.
That's what he sounds like.
Hey, Ray.
Oh yeah. Your Ray impression is like a Ray / Kermit hybrid.
This is Raymond's brother.
On Everyone Loves Raymond.
What is his name?
Hey, Robert. Robert. Hey.
Oh God, I can't.
I'm kidding. I know you believe you didn't grow up in social norms, but you have like you.
No, there's definitely social norms.
Yeah, there's social norms. I fought to break those social norms.
Listen, I like the burger ones because burgers are yummy.
Yeah, but is it burgers because it's July 4th or because you want burgers?
I mean, to be fair, I've been eating burgers like for the past like 2 weeks, so I just think I have burgers.
So then, why are you excited to have burgers now, but not the last few weeks? You never ones where you're like, burgers! It's Monday burgers! It's July 4th, so that's why you want to have burgers.
It's why I want to have burgers.
Yeah, that's a social norm.
It is. Yeah, it is.
You are basically imprinted. You have been marketed and brainwashed to eat
burgers on July 4th
and be excited about that.
And blow stuff up.
But
not the burgers.
No, he blew up the bathroom this morning.
At least
twice. But you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, you're not excited because it's hamburgers again today. You're excited because it's July.
And July burger explosions.
Do you think they'll ever have July 4th on another day? You know,
Oh man,
like they'll move it.
July 4th got rained out today. We got to move it to the 5th.
Well, you know, like how Easter's on a different Sunday every year.
Oh yeah.
You know, why can't July 4th be a different Sunday?
We have 2 4ths this year. We have July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 4th, 7th.
Yeah. How is July 4th always on Sunday? I don't understand. This is good.
July 4th is always the first Sunday of every July.
Oh, look, it's July 3rd. We get to celebrate July 4th. What do we do on
July-
July 4th? I don't know. I got to go to work. It's Monday.
July begins on a Sunday, so we have July 4th, July 1st.
Yeah. It's July 4th weekend. Every day of the weekend is
It's
July
the 4th.
4th. Enjoy your July 4th weekend. Oh, hey. I can't do it. Right. I can't do it now. I can't do it. Robert, I can't do it.
Kermit.
I was
Kermit the Frog here.
Oh, hey, it's me, Kermit the Frog, coming to you live. Hey, Miss Piggy!
Wah!
It's not easy being green. My friend does Kermit really well. No, he just holds him down over the table.
Is it consensual?
No.
Oh.
I was thinking of doing I've been working on the monologue for I don't know who you are.
Oh.
I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have is a very particular set of skills. Skills that I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go, that right now, that'll be the end of it. But if you don't, I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you. And I want to do that. I want to film that with me doing it in all the impressions that I do. Like I just want to do impressions of it, you know.
You totally did.
What did you? I don't know who you are. We don't know what you want.
Could we please do the makeup for you?
If you're looking for ransom, we've got no monies.
Just paint you gray to do that.
Precious.
Yeah, it'd be so funny.
We should get like a fish that you
Is he
hold.
gray? I guess he is gray.
Yeah, because he doesn't have like he's like hanging
He's
out in a
gray.
cave. He's dirty.
That's racist.
Yeah.
Because he's hanging out in the cave. No, the ring.
Oh yeah, like
The ring is what changed his physical form.
it's also been like pale too. But then like
But
yeah,
he's not. He's gray. It sucks his life force out and actually extends his life. But like,
Oh yeah, because he's like really old.
yeah, he's really old.
We're really old. You're ruining it. You're ruining it. Go away. Never come back.
Oh god, such an amazingly terrible character.
Amigo. Call him. Precious.
On that note,
Guess that's it.
thanks for joining us, everybody.
Should we wait to 420?
We don't celebrate.
Oh yeah. Well, plus we've missed it. We'd have to wait over a year or less than a year now, but
Yeah.
to get to 420.
I guess we're still
Anyway.
alive for a year.
If you have questions or fun,
Comment,
comment,
message us, email us.
messages. We love answering questions. Yeah, like if you have questions, put them below the comments, and we'll answer them in a future episode.
Yeah.
We give all advice. JD's excellent at dating advice.
Yeah,
Right?
totally.
You have relationship expertise. Tell them how good you are at relationship advice.
Amazingly terrible.
Yeah, he once gave me advice that helped. He goes, look, women like dirty talk. So within the first 16 sentences of conversation, you need to ask, do you like Cleveland? Because I got a steamer for you.
Works every time.
I don't know what it means, but it works every time.
Yeah, I think it involves
Yeah.
some sort of like ironing board or something. I don't
Yeah, they usually respond with, I've always wanted to get it off my chest, but I could let it linger a little.
know. But
And I go, what the hell are they talking about? So I just copy and paste what he sends me. And also, what is it? In 22 lines of dialogue, you send your toes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever said something to a woman, like you sent it to her, and you're like, oh, I wish I could take that back. Like as you hit send.
Yes.
But like because it was too revealing. Like
I feel like-
sexual or something.
I feel like that has happened when I've known someone for a really long time, and it's been like a heated conversation where it was more of like a negative conversation. Where in the heat of the moment, I have said things, and I'm like, "This is a terrible idea."
No, I'm talking with like a woman. Like let's say you're just starting to talk with a woman, and you're like flirting back and forth, and you're just like, yeah, and then you send it, and you're like, oh, yeah, that was 6 months too early.
Yeah, man. I
You know,
should
like-
never have told her about the hairy knuckles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd fist your asshole. Like, ah!
Who is this again?
Sorry, my brother took my phone. So weird. Yeah.
Sorry, the dog was texting.
Yeah. You put it on video. It's just your back of your head. Go away, Jake. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Great.
See, JD is the laughs, and I'm just the funny. My brother took the phone. Robert, I can't even do it now. I can't do it. I have to find it again. I'll have to find it again. I have to make fun of you being a socialite.
Hey, there it is, right? Hey, Robert. It's July 4th. We're gonna eat those hamburgers. Hey, Mom.
He's gonna pee himself.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want.
We're getting you a flannel and you're doing this.
If you're looking for ransom,
I can't.
hey, I can tell you. Okay, I don't have money.
Oh my god. We're definitely doing this.
Hey, Brian. I don't know who you are, but
50 Shades of Taken.
50 Shades of Taken. That's so funny. Oh man, what do you think would be the best movie ever with a character replacing an actor? Not an actor, but a
Like if
character.
the character was like a real person.
Yeah, like if the performance of that character would make a movie better.
Oh man, I feel like this is like a whole list of things that I can.
You
come
know
up
what I'm
with.
saying?
Mm.
Like in my mind, I think Die Hard with Roger Rabbit as the main character, and like and maybe like Zod as the villain.
Oh my god.
You know,
I'm in.
but not Zod with the power of Zod. Zod with that
John McClane in Home Alone.
John McClane. But who would he be?
He beat Kevin McAllister.
Okay.
Duh. Fists with your toes.
You're gonna
He's like climbing.
Who
through
would be the
air ducts.
villains though? Who would you make the villains?
No, it should totally still just be Joe Pesci.
Oh, Joe Pesci. I would make it Joe Pesci from Goodfellas.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And then Joe Pesci from My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, two Joe Pesci's just playing. That'd be really fun. Do you know what's insane? Joe Pesci.
Is
Do you
a
know
singer?
how in Goodfellas? You've seen Goodfellas?
Yes.
Do you know how in Goodfellas he beats and kills the other guy? He goes, "Hey, why don't you go home and shine your shoebox, right? Or get your shoebox."
Yes.
remember that
That's the guy they bury. Like they take
Yeah,
him down the trunk. Yeah.
Joe Pesci and that guy are best friends in real life. Like,
That's funny.
They grew up together.
Like the guy he kills.
Yeah, and they had a musical band together.
Oh yeah, because he's the singer.
They're both singers.
Well, it's Joe. Did the other guy also play an instrument though? Or
I don't know if they played, but they sang on. They did like a duet thing.
Gotcha.
So that's really funny, right?
It is really funny.
Yeah, I think that guy also plays the. Does he play the mobster? Oh, you didn't
don't
see.
know.
You didn't see Sopranos.
No, I did not see Sopranos. But
Did-
I think they're doing like a spin-off movie.
They're
or
doing
show.
a prequel,
Gotcha.
like a movie, or a mini series or whatever it's called.
Yeah, whatever they do nowadays.
Yeah, I don't think it's a movie. I don't think it's a show. It's a mini series.
It's like a
Also,
one-off.
fun little note: Breaking Bad was actually not a TV series. It was a
limited series.
it was
Is that
a
what they call
limited mini series. That's why the first season is like 8 episodes or something like that. And then after that, it became like a show. They made it a show.
it? Well, yeah, because there's different levels. There's like full series, mini series are like a one-off. Like, was it like 1 to 5 episodes, or something? And then I thought limited series is like it's like a season or like a few
Maybe I
seasons.
think it comes down to episodes really dictate like what it's called.
Gotcha.
You know, but also the way it's filmed. Like, so if it's a serial, I think is episodic if I remember correctly. Let me see.
Yeah.
Just I'll look.
Well, no,
it up.
anthology is episodic, isn't it?
No. Anthology would be episodic, but the series and what is the difference between a series and a
Serials.
serial? I don't know. A series is a collection of. Oh, I
Of
for-
Books. That's not-
one second. What is the difference? between just TV series. I don't think it's
Types.
and
That's not answering me.
keep saying books.
Nobody reads anymore.
Oh, serials and series.
Oh,
I'm not gonna look at that. If I remember correctly, Game of Thrones each season is. Hang on one second.
because they're 10 episodes most seasons, and I think the last one was 8.
Here
I
we go.
believe.
A series contains the same characters throughout, but each episode is a different story. So the series would be like NYPD Blues or Friends, right?
Okay.
So that would be anthology almost, right? Where you can watch it at any
Episode
point.
of the week.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Star Trek shows.
Yeah, and a serial would be that the same characters throughout again, but you should start watching from the first. Like
Because they're all connected.
yeah, like The Circle we're working on 21-3 and Laundry.
Mhm.
Those are all serials.
Because they're all connected.
Yeah, every episode expands on the previous episode. That's the way I like writing.
Yeah. So like Breaking Bad is everything is connected.
Breaking Bad is a serial.
And like the original, say like Batman and Superman serials, because each one led to the next.
Those would be series. So like
No, not the 60s. I'm talking about like the old ones for like that were in front of the movie theaters, in front of the movies, and like you'd have to go back every
those-
week. Those were serials, because like they'd leave you with a cliffhanger. Like
oh
he's
yeah,
straight.
those are serials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars is technically a serial series, even though they're movies.
because they're connected.
Yeah, and he made them to be that way, like as serials.
But Indiana Jones is not.
Indiana Jones is not. No,
That would be an anthology, just a regular series.
I don't
'Cause
know.
they're just standalone. You can literally
well,
watch.
there are movies, but
Yeah, but you can watch them out of order and because
in fact, I think the second one actually takes place before the first one.
it does.
Yeah, so whatever. I guess that's it.
Temple of Doom.
All right, it's 4:21. We made it.
Woohoo!
Okay, and that's it. Oh, by the way, JD's working on some new music, so if you want to check that out, just go to makearightlefthehere.com to look up Angels on the Battlefield, spelled ALTAYON.
See, very short.
Yeah, very short. No, it's tall.
It is very tall,
It's very tall.
but very brief.
Tall tale. If your band blew up, right? How would you collect the pieces?
I would definitely hire a cleaning service.
Oh my god. Imagine you got a huge opportunity to play Angels in the Battlefield, right? And go on tour.
Mhm.
And then you get to the first show and it turns out to be a prank, but you flew all the way out of Europe.
I'd be like, well,
I know what I'm doing with my Doge money. Gonna create a whole company, hire people to call you up. Yeah, so we heard your song on Spotify. Or whatever. What is the new one you're working on? I don't know. It sounds like did it. Actually, it's a song that like the intro of the song is fantastic, and then he wrote a new song and he put it after the intro, so now it sounds like two songs. But then like he does this like other thing, so it's 3 songs in one because he likes the parts, and it was started off as my favorite song he's ever written, and it's turned into like my least favorite song he's ever written.
especially because I keep playing it because I'm
No, if the song that you were writing originally,
no, but I'm saying I've been playing it a lot lately, so now it's ingrained to be your least favorite one because you hear it so much.
it instantly became my least favorite when you destroyed the original song you were writing. You stopped working on, and then you turned it into something else, and then you were like, "Oh, I need it to be something else," and so now. The beginning of the song has died. Like that
It's
song
dead.
does not exist anymore.
It's dead.
It's just the intro, quote unquote, of this new thing that you made.
DED dead.
But it was amazing. There's a lot going. There's a lot of story in there, and then it just goes fuck it. I need the solo and play this melody.
La, 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 la.
What is that song called, by the way? What are we calling
I
this
haven't
one?
given it a title yet.
Yeah, that's probably the best title to give it.
Untitled song.
No, 'cause I haven't given it a title yet.
Oh my god, I should just totally do that.
You should do that. I think
I have not given the song a title yet, and I probably never will.
Why can't
Period.
you name it that?
I should.
Is it an Angels on the Battlefield song?
I don't know.
Just add dragons to that. Dragons have not named this yet, nor angels on a battlefield. Nights Somewhere. That's the song title.
Epic.
Epic.
Semicolon. Epic.
Epic. But you write out semicolon. Semicolon.
Oh my
Epic.
God. That's the best title ever.
All right, bye.